Welcome to session 7 of Growing Leaders. This session's called Leading Together. The aims of our session are these: to understand the biblical model for leading with others, that it's not just about leading on our own. Secondly, to explore 5 common problems connected with leading with others. And thirdly, to identify what are leaders responsible for. So, an overview of the session. People will come from a whole range of experiences in this area. Some will have led with other people and it'll have been a great experience. In fact, they'll be very, very excited about this subject. Others will have had their worst experiences of leadership when they've tried to lead with other people. And actually, they're not looking forward to this session. So we need to be pastorally sensitive to where people are coming from. What drives this session are 2 things. A theology of leadership which comes from the Bible. Leadership in the New Testament is plural. Out of all the references to leadership, there are only 2 which are in the singular. All the rest are plural. Leadership is a plural thing. It's meant to be developed in community and exercised in community. That's why it's so important that we don't buy the idea that it's about a heroic individual on their own. So, theologically, it's important for us to grasp what the Bible says at this point. Secondly, practically, no one leader has all the gifts necessary to lead. We need others if we're going to exercise good leadership. So theologically and practically, we want to make sure that we encourage those on the course to lead well with others. Of course, doing that is a time-consuming and sometimes difficult process. It involves conflicts of personality. It involves engaging with people who think or act in different ways than we do. But actually, if we can do it and do that well, it provides a richness to our leadership which is far greater than any one of us can offer on our own. So we'll consider 2 models for leading well with others. A model which is called 5 dysfunctions of a team, and then a second model which looks at task, group and individual and what the leader is responsible for in each of those 3 areas. It may well be that you choose just one of these models to focus on. That's fine. Well, let's ask Lorraine for some further practical pointers for how to run this session well. Lorraine, one of the core models is the 5 dysfunctions. How did you approach that?
Well, the 5 dysfunctions is a great model to use. And what we did here was to break down the participants into different groups who were representing the similar roles. So like small group leaders, for example. And they explored it, did the questionnaire on it, and they just raised their awareness about what some of the issues might be in their particular group, and then shared their ideas about how they might get over it. So a really useful exercise to do.
And where have you seen this sort of work out in practice to actually enable people to work better together?
Well, a group I was working with at the time of leading this course was very much one where trust had gone completely. And it was where we had to start right back at the roots of openness and honesty and really being vulnerable again. And that just changed dramatically how that team worked.
And what was the impact on the team? If it changed them dramatically, what were some of the benefits that came out of it?
The benefits of doing that clearly were that you could actually face some of the conflict things that were being talked about but not really being aired. And ultimately they're moved on dramatically in that team, and it's just so exciting to see that change.
So that's session 7 of Growing Leaders. I want to give a heads up at this stage for session 8. There are some practical things that need sorting are way ahead, so do take a look now at the Leader's Guide in the pack. Otherwise you'll find yourself entering into that session without time to get everything sorted. Session 7 of Growing Leaders focuses on leading together. Please make sure you're doing that well as you model it as leaders of the course. Enjoy this, the 7th session of Growing Leaders.